Hi, welcome to Avi's Kosher Kitchen. It is me, Summertime Avi. Well, hopefully it's summertime where you are, because it's summertime where I am. In fact, wherever I go it's summertime. And look at this spread. We got the grill, we got meat, we got stuff. We are doing a barbecue. Now, before I tell you the details and to give you anything else, let's say L'chaim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri hagefen. Ah, very, very nice. It's a nice wine from our friends over at Harkin Spirits. In fact, this is a great wine for a barbecue. It's a Spring River Cabernet Sauvignon Merlot, which is got enough heartiness to work with the meat, but enough fruitiness to work with things like hot dogs and stuff like that. Okay, so you may want to put that on your shopping list, as well as this great meat from KOL Foods. We're going to start with hot dogs. Now, hot dogs have always gotten a bad rap, right? You know, they're full of fillers and this, that, and the other thing. These guys, absolutely wonderful. Take a look at these babies, okay? No fillers, gluten-free, no nitrates, and of course, KOL Foods meats, you know, no growth hormones, no antibiotics, pasture raised. You know it, you've seen me talk about it, and I gotta tell you, the smell on these hot dogs smells like the old-fashioned hot dogs you got, you know, from the butcher, the delicatessen and stuff like that, which really surprised me when we opened the package. Now, when you grill a hot dog, a lot of people take their grill and they crank it up. How many BTUs do I have? I got 5,000 BTUs and I can, you know, 50,000 and I can burn and scorch everything and, you know, I'm gonna melt metal and make things. Forget about it. You wanna cook at a good pace on a grill, okay? So for a hot dog, that's a lower heat, Okay, so I've got my grill right now. Burner's down to pretty much low. I've already put a couple of dogs on. I'm gonna put these on, okay? And what happens is, because dogs are pre-cooked, you just need to kind of get them happy, get that kind of grill marco thing going, and so on and so forth. You can see these guys, look at this, they're plumping up really nice, you know, and somebody wants them really well done and they want them, you know, really scorched and burnt, you know, put them over on the hot side of your grill, okay? I'm gonna take a couple of these. This is the hot side of my grill, this is the cool side of my grill. All grills have a cool side and a hot side, generally speaking, or it's a good thing, that way you can regulate. And if you can't regulate on a grill, by the way, if your grill just seems to always be hot, I've got 3 burners on this grill. Most grills have at least 2. So you know what you do? One burner is on, the other burner is off. You can play with it and so on and so forth, okay? So you can see these guys on the hot side are just getting that nice burn and char really, really quick, okay? So what I'm gonna do, because I think these are done already, that's how quick things go. Because remember, these hot dogs are pre-cooked, so you don't have to worry that, you know, it's got to be on a grill for a certain amount of time and this, that, and the other thing. Ah, I always tell you this, if you could smell this, you would be going, yeah. Trust me, you would be going, yeah, or something like that. Okay, I'm gonna let those go for a little bit. Now, these are actually my all-American Israeli hot dogs. What do you mean all-American Israeli hot dogs? What I mean is this, okay? They're obviously all-American hot dogs, but we're gonna make a homemade sauerkraut for them. And this recipe comes from one of my dearest friends and her husband, Craig and Orly Coleman, who, interesting story, she's Israeli and gave us this great recipe for cabbage, which I looked at it, and my buddy Craig looked at it from Buffalo and said, you know what? That's not cabbage, that's sauerkraut. So I've got some nice white cabbage all checked and cut up and all like that. We'll put it in here, which is a little bit of olive oil. I'm not gonna use all of this. We're just gonna dump about this much into here. Okay, that's it. I've got some olive oil there. Now what I'm gonna do is take some vinegar. Okay, I'm using a nice organic apple cider vinegar. You could use a white vinegar. The vinegar kind of pickles that whole thing up really nicely. So it's probably about a ½ cup, something like that, of vinegar, okay? Now, I've got a little bit of salt, because we always just put a little bit of salt into things. And I've got some sugar. Now, a lot of times I use brown sugar. The organic brown sugar is good. It's got a nice sweetness to it. This is organic, natural whole sugar, okay, which is really nice. And you want to be a little bit liberal with that sugar because it's going to counteract the effects of the vinegar, okay? I've got it on a kind of a lowish heat. That's it. I put the cover on, and that's just going to get happy. We'll mix it up a little bit later, and that's just going to wilt the cabbage, and when you see it, you're going to go, wow. Let's check our dogs, okay? Let's give them a roll. Look at, they're getting done already. Here's our char dogs. They're getting done nice. Put them over there, okay? I'm going to take my char dogs, put them right on the side over here of the grill, so that it's a little bit of warmth coming out of there. Just stay nice and happy, okay? Now, I've got my mixing bowl. Time for our burgers, okay? Now here's the thing in burgers. Everybody takes burgers and they go, I'm going to put all sorts of stuff in it. I'm going to put the kitchen sink in it. Thing in a burger, for me, is a burger is a combination of a number of things. It's not just the meat, okay? And not just the spices, but it's the whole package. Because when you eat a burger, you're eating not just the patty, you're eating it sometimes with lettuce, with tomato, with onions, with pickles, with ketchup, with mustard, with this, with that, and you're eating it on a bun. Okay, we're going to talk about the bread in a minute. But let me talk first about the meat, okay? So again, I've got some great beef and lamb from our friends at KOL Foods. Excuse me. Oh, look at that. It's the folks at KOL Foods. Hello? Yes. Yes, no, we're in the middle of shooting right now, Devorah. Yeah, I will, I promise. Okay, you got it. You got it, Devorah. Okay. This is Devorah Kittelman from KOL Foods. She just wanted to make sure that you knew that it was 100% grass-fed from start to finish, and not, you know, grain finished as other brands are, okay? So, in fact, hold on to that for me, would you? Okay. So I like to put gloves on when I mix my meat, because it's just, we're going to go through a lot of different things. It avoids all the hand washing and stuff like that in between. Now I've got beef and I've got lamb, okay? So we're going to start with some good old beef burgers, okay? I'm going to take a nice pound of their beef right in here, okay? I'm going to take a little bit of salt. This is a light, gentle season on the beef, a little bit of salt, okay? I've got a little bit of garlic powder, just a little bit of that. I'm going to take some of that nice sugar, put it in. That's it. For me, those are beef burgers, okay? Now I take it and I mix. Now when I'm mixing, you want to go gentle. Gentle on the mix, okay? If you go too hard when you mix, it packs and compresses that meat down, and you get a really hard, tough kind of chew on the burger. You don't want to do that. So you've drawn just enough to kind of mix that in, and that's it. That's enough, okay? What I've got here is got my nice pan. We're going to take our burger. Here's a trick. I just kind of roll it up into a big ball, and you just gently squish that out. Okay, nice, plump. Don't worry if it's not perfectly round. It's going on a burger. Squeeze the middle in though, just like this. Go like that. Okay, you don't have to do the sound effect, but that was just so you get the idea. Okay, so we're going to make some nice big burgers. A lot of people, when they're doing a burger, they're going to do a lot of that filler stuff. Okay, they do the stuff with breadcrumbs and eggs and this and that and the other thing. Not for me. Check our dogs. They're doing good. Give them just a little bit more time on there. Okay, we're going to check our sauerkraut, reducing down nicely. Look at that. Oh yeah. Okay, I'm going to turn our heat down and let that go. Okay, so what I was saying is that when they make these burgers, people put all this filler and all sorts of stuff like that. You don't want to put a bunch of filler and junk in there. You're starting with good meat. You know, you don't need to do that. And I put a little wax paper, parchment paper in between here, so we have our separation between our beef burgers and so on. Now, I don't want to cross-contaminate the seasoning and the spice between the beef burgers and my next setup, which is going to be our beef lamb burgers, okay, which will be the majority. Now, I happen to absolutely love this combination of flavors, okay? The combination of great beef mixed in with lamb, you get just a wonderfulness of flavors that melange into each other, okay? So we're going to take a nice pound of that KOL Foods beef, and now the lamb. We give it a little bit of a how you doing, get to know each other kind of stir in here. There we go. Now, a little bit of salt, because you always want a little bit of salt. I'm using a nice sea salt, kosher salt. You could do I always think that a little bit of sugar goes a long way in a meat, particularly helps to caramelize things. A little bit of garlic powder, just like we did before. But now we're going to add a little bit to it, okay? We're going to put in here a little cracked black pepper. Okay? And then just a little bit of cumin, just to bring out the lamb of that lamb flavor a little bit. And now we again do that nice gentle mix. I'm putting the parchment paper in between so that the burgers obviously don't stick to each other, okay? And again, here we're going to make a couple of extra. We'll make some nice big ones, okay? By the way, I've got a crew to feed here. Joel behind the camera, and Virginia and Sue inside are helping to prep things, and it's about lunchtime, so after you see this done, they're going to see it go down their stomach, I think, go down their mouth. Okay, off with the gloves. Let's get to business. How these dogs doing? Oh yeah, dogs are doing good. We're going to take these off. Look at this. Beautiful, beautiful, lovely hot dogs, okay? Some with a nice char on them, but just great. I'm going to keep them here to keep warm, okay? What I'm going to do for the burgers, though, is I'm going to crank the heat just a little bit, okay? This is down on low. I'm going to bring them up just kind of a medium, okay? Now, remember what I told you. Hot side, low side for my grill. This is an old grill. You can see it. It's been around for 19 years, but I got to tell you, it still cooks good because you take care of it, and the seasoning that gets in here from all the years of cooking different things just helps to envelope things and really brings things out nicely. Okay, now we are going to do our last burgers, which are the lamb burgers. Now the lamb burgers get a different seasoning altogether, okay, than what we've done before. Well, you have some similarities, but we're going to add a little bit to it. Okay, and then we're going to put them all at once because they all cook at about the same rate. So we take a nice pound of our great KOL Foods lamb, a little bit of salt in here, good, a little bit of sugar, sound familiar so far, okay, a little bit of garlic, granulated garlic, okay, a little bit of our cumin, okay, a little bit of cinnamon. Okay, cinnamon, beautiful Middle Eastern spice. We use it a lot and it goes great with lamb. And now one of my favorites, a little bit of cardamom. The cardamom, you want to just be gentle with it. You don't want to put a lot. A little goes a long way with cardamom. And cardamom is one of these spices, by the way, that it's the secret and the key to a good Turkish coffee, believe it or not, okay? I've got some mint leaves here. Nice fresh mint leaves. We're going to just kind of roll them up and give them a little bit of a chiffonade, a little bit of a cut. They go in here. And I've got some basil leaves, okay? Just a couple, 3, 4 basil leaves. You don't want to go too heavy with this. And again, just a nice cut on those. Give them a little bit more of a dice. Be a nice kind of surprise when somebody bites in and they go, oh, there's a nice little green little deal in there. Okay, again, we take this very gently, mix it up. Wow, the smells coming out of here, I'm telling you right now. If you could get drunk on spice odor, I'd be going, yeah, I couldn't walk home, you know. But thankfully, you don't get drunk on that, and you actually get a nice meal out of it. So we're going to take our lamb burgers, and again, the same thing, nice little ball. We're going to make these kind of on the big side. We'll know that they're lamb burgers because we can see the herbs, the fresh herbs in them. Okay, so now our grill should be good. Let's get these lamb burgers on right away. Okay, I'm going to put them, bam, right over here. This is my hot side. Okay, what I want to do is I want to get a nice sear on these. Okay, these are our lamb beef burgers coming in next. And that's it. Close the lid. You want that smoke in there to really circulate around, okay? Because when you have that smoke going and surrounding the burgers, what happens is as the fat drips out, it just vaporizes up. And that vaporization gets that smoke surrounding those. Oh, and you got it now because we've got the lamb and we've got the beef and we've got all the flavors. Whoa, we're really talking about something special, okay? Gloves come off, and now I'm going to show you something else. I've got my nice sauerkraut in here. I'm going to just put a lot more sugar. Look at that. Cardamom fell. Casualty of the fray. Okay, we're gonna take this. I'm gonna put a cover on it, put it off the heat, put it aside. Now I've got my trusty pan back onto the heat. Okay, different heat. I got some more olive oil right in here because I'm gonna show you something that you probably figured out already. If you know me and if you watch some of my stuff, I love to have something else on that burger, not just the burger, okay? So what we've got here is some shallots. Beautiful shallots cut nice and thin. Now you could use onions. I like to use sweet onions, a Vidalia or something like that. By the way, with an onion, the flatter it is, like this, the flatter, the sweeter. Big round yellow onions are going to be a little bit sharper and stuff like that. Quick tip for you. The shallots I like because it's a little bit mild of a flavor and it's something unexpected, and besides, when you serve this 4th of July or whatever, and this really doesn't have to be a lot more money on a shallot than an onion if you go to the right place to shop. But when you serve it and people go, oh, I'll have some of those grilled onions, you go, no, shallots. It's grilled shallots on the burger. And you're out there at the picnic and everybody's in their shorts and a t-shirt and everything else like that, you know, going, oh, we're having shallots. Very nice. Okay, very, very good. Okay, so now, this is going to put these in. I'm going to put the whole thing in there because for me, grilled shallot, grilled onion on a burger, whoa, one of the things that makes it. Remember, I was talking about combination of flavors, okay? Combination of what's going on in the meat, what's going on top of the meat, the condiments, the bread, everything else like that, okay? Now, the burgers, you can see all that smoke rising. Let's check them. I'm using tongs, by the way. Do not, I repeat this, do not grab a fork and pierce your meat and flip it over like some caveman. There's a reason they're not here. Okay, tongs gently underneath. You could use a spatula for this if you want. Okay, the tongs I just want to sear this meat, some nice grill marks. Now you might think, oh, it's going to fall apart. You didn't put all that breadcrumbs in the egg and this and that. If you go nice and gently, you're not going to have any fall apart. You're going to have wonderfulness. So that's going to go a little bit. Remember, I can always raise the heat to char the outside real quick if I need to, but if the outside gets burnt, you can't unburn it, okay? Now I got my shallots going here. Look at that. Okay, very nice. Now if you don't like olive oil, you want to use vegetable oil or something like that, go right ahead. You want to use some margarine, that's fine too, okay? So this has got to just kind of go and get happy on the grill, let the fire, the flames, everybody kind of intermingle in there, introduce themselves. But on those lamb burgers, I'm going to put a nice lemon tahina sauce on that, okay? Now, a lot of times these tahina sauces, you're going to make it and you put it in a bowl and you whisk everything together and all like that, you know, and you're whisking, and when you whisk, what happens? It gets all over you and you forget the whisk. It's gone, okay? We're going to take tahina. I've got this great tahina from my friends at KOL Foods, okay, right from the land of milk and honey and tahina and hummus, Israel, okay. I'm going to take that. I've got here a lemon, a jar, some spices. We're good to go, okay. I'm going to pop off the lid on this tahina, okay, pour it into there about halfway through. That's about, we'll give it a half a jar of tahina. This is just a standard mason jar, if you will, okay? And I'm going to take my, my lemon, roll this thing, roll this lemon, cut it in half, and realize that I didn't get a lemon, I got an orange. This happens sometimes at Avi's Kosher Kitchen. I get confused, I go too fast. Virginia, can I have a lemon, please? So, let's take a look at these burgers, guys, while we're doing this. Now we're talking. Look at this. Serious burger action happening. Flipping these things over. Okay, now, remember I told you, hot side, cold side. Cold side's not getting done as charred as the hot side. So now we're going to flip them. We're going to reverse them. Here we go. Ready? This guy goes over here. This guy goes over here. This is kind of the burger do-si-do. This guy goes over here. This guy goes over here. This guy I want a little more char on. These guys are going to be fine. Over here. Well, I sound like an auctioneer. This guy's over here. This guy comes over here. Move them around your grill. Now, I know you're losing track of what's what, and that's the fun of it. Because people are going to eat it, and they're going to go, I don't know what kind of burger I got. You go, but yeah, it was still good. So shallots going, okay. And now, through the miracle of Virginia, my assistant, I've got a real lemon. It happens sometimes, folks. Now we got the lemon. We're gonna take it, juice it in here. Just half a lemon. I'm gonna take a little bit of salt, just a dappling of salt, a little bit of garlic powder into there, okay? That's it. And a little bit of water to kind of thin it, just a skosh, like so. And now, the beauty of these jars, take it, just like this, put the lid on, put it up, shake it. And let's see what we got now. That's a great thing, by the way. When you cook, when you go slow, if you don't like it, change it, fix it. And that, my friends, is a beautiful lemon tahini. Okay, and you're gonna see that in a minute. Tell you what we're gonna do. I'm gonna grab these burgers off the grill. I'm gonna get them all set up. I'm gonna lay it all out for you, and I'm gonna give you the guided tour of everything. And then the crew's gonna eat. So hang in there, and coming right back. Okay, so everything's off the grill, all spread out here. I've got my beautiful lamb burger, I've got my beef burger, I've got my lamb beef burger, I've got my great hot dogs all from KOL Foods. By the way, I've got their lamb fry, great topping on some of the burgers. I've got my sauteed shallots, my homemade sun-dried tomato ketchup, mustard, the wonderful lemon tahini sauce, which will go fantastic on this lemon burger. Nice Israeli sauerkraut that's going to go fantastic on everything. Of course, lettuce, tomato, and the oranges that I thought they were lemons. What can I tell you? You know, what happens to us all. By the way, bread is so important when it comes to this. I want to show you. I've got a nice multi-grain baguette. What I do is I just take this, cut it to the size of the hot dog, boom, there's my hot dog bun, okay? Why? Because, you know, those other hot dog buns, junk. Eat something nice, okay? By the way, I buy these frozen, put them in my oven. I got fresh baked bread. And for the burger, nice ciabatta bread, okay? Ciabatta, just cut it right to the size of the burger, and that's it. Really good with everything. And
really good.
Yeah, so that's Virginia. She's our food stylist, helping out with the food.
You done with this?
I guess it's it's time to eat. The crew's coming in. Robert from KOL Foods. Okay, well, and then I guess that's.
I'll just take this. Thank you. Turn off the cameras when you're done, okay?
That's Joel, camera guy. Well, I guess it's crew time, and it's time to eat lunch, and nothing left for me to do but say l'chaim. So, l'chaim. Now, how do I turn this thing off? Right? What do I do? How does this thing work?